In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I made this $60 china cabinet into something that Joanna Keynes would put her stamp of approval on. You need to make sure that you're cleaning your piece of furniture. I had soapy water on hand, a sponge, and paper towels. Here are all of the materials you're going to need for this project. I'll link everything down below. Make sure you have this in order to fill in any chips and cracks in your furniture. Once you're ready to start painting, you're going to just literally dip your brush into the paint and have at it. The most important thing to think about is you don't have to go in left and right motions. You can literally go whichever way you want. The first coat is about just getting everything covered. Your chalk paint should take about 5 to 10 minutes to dry in between coats. If you're unsure, just wait. My favorite thing about chalk paint is the fact that you do not have to sand or prime your piece of furniture. I don't have a sander on hand and I don't have any priming materials on hand. Make sure you're not panicking when you take a step back from the piece and you see that it looks like a 3-year-old painted it. It is okay. Once you add your next 2 coats, it will look completely covered and you won't see any of your brush strokes. In order to get to all of those hard to reach places, especially on a piece that has glass on it, you're going to need a thin, small brush. So I went ahead and painted the existing hardware that came with the china cabinet. You are more than welcome to go ahead and change your hardware. I really loved what was on it, so I decided to paint it with a black acrylic paint. So unfortunately, this waxing portion was not my favorite. I ended up getting a liquid wax, which was all that the Lowe's that I went to had, and it was Valspar, so I thought it was going to be pretty good, but it ended up being just as annoying as I thought a liquid wax would be. I highly recommend you to buy a paste wax. It is much easier to work with, easier to wipe off, and it doesn't tend to accumulate as much in the tiny crevices of furniture. So the waxing technique is as follows. You use the same chalk paint brush, clean it thoroughly before you use it. You dip it into the wax and you go ahead and start making the same brush strokes that you did with the paint, and then you must have a clean rag on hand to wipe off the excess. In the end, you must let the wax dry for about 24 hours, maybe even longer, before you start putting things in your china cabinet or putting things on top of whatever piece of furniture you end up deciding to restore. Clearly, this is the before portion of our china cabinet. It was really run down. There were water rings on the shelves, and it just was kind of gross. And when I saw it, I knew it would have potential to be something quite beautiful, so I'm glad that I decided to take on this project. And here is the after. I honestly could not have asked for a better result. I didn't record myself doing was using the sand block to create the distress effect onto my china cabinet, but here you can see some of the corners and curves that I decided to distress.